Let's go. Feed these niggas. Feed these niggas.
Yo, it's that real nigga shit. That make the real niggas get buck wild. Jumping out the window.
Fresh like the prince ever since grade 6.
Can't turn back, I ain't been the same since. You know how bitch niggas in the industry pretend to be your friend of me.
Facts. Facts. Kweli's learning. Yeah, he looked up. Now shook up. He's booked up. Back down. Fuck the niggas! I mean, to blast someone. Love MC. Blast of guns. Who is he? Looked up to turned out to be suspect. Niggas I looked up to turned out to be suspect. How many Kanye stands is feeling like that right now? Oh my god, this is classic. Alright, so listen. Let's talk about this shit, man. Kanye West proving exactly what I've been saying. Do you know how crazy it is for me to even hear, Kanye say this shit out of his own fucking mouth, that he basically is a backpack fraud? When I said this shit back in 2003, motherfuckers pretended like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. That's the problem with rap. And at some point, this is why I go so hard on Kendrick, J. Cole, Griselda, Freddie Gibbs, all this lame ass shit that has been writ up by critics and is supposed to be real when I can smell the fake a mile away. I know that. That's why I go hard again, because I know that sometime in the 2000s especially, this rap shit became so fucking fake. You know what I'm saying? And it was this weird thing where it was like trying to pull a Jedi mind trick on everybody that was actually in head and was listening to the shit and being like, no, this is genuine hip hop. And you're like, huh? How? This drumless shit is genuine hip hop? How? Kanye's, soft drum, lame shit is hip hop? What? Is up there with the greatest? Huh? How? And you're sitting there trying to figure this shit out. Lil Wayne is the greatest rapper ever? How? What are these bars he spin? I'm like the toilet, the shit is stinking or whatever. What? That's supposed to be Nas level? What? Huh? And you're sitting there trying to figure shit out. Am I fucking up? Man, do I not know rap like I don't know? And then you realize, oh, this shit is bullshit. These niggas is lying. And it's an industry thing. Niggas is just trying to sell records, man. And they're selling them to casuals because they know that that's where the money's at. The money's with the casuals, okay? So we gonna sell to them and we're gonna make up whatever the fuck we wanna make up so that the casuals can cop in, give us their cash, because casuals have cash. That's the thing about casuals. They got cash, especially the white casuals. We all know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they'll give you their cash for the moment when you're the hot thing or whatever. And that's what this shit is all about. So after I figured that shit out, I'm like, you know what, man? I like what I like, okay? Like, I notice when some shit is real and it's genuinely great music in the hip-hop space, I know what the fuck it is, because I've been listening to rap a long fucking time. I feel this shit. I love this shit with my heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to bullshit. I think it's fucking interesting that Kweli is now coming out the gate talking about, oh, Voltron rap, I'm gonna expose Kanye's Ghostwriters, and he put the, Instagram post of all the Ghostwriters. Nigga, it's too late, okay? Kweli, it's too fucking late. We were saying this shit back then, and y'all pretended like we didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. It's been almost 20 years. And this is, again, what I think is so fascinating, because this shit is destroying, again, that fucking ridiculous argument that Kanye was this brilliant rap artist, he was so real, and then his mother died and he became Kardashian. He was always a fucking Kardashian. Pay attention. And I saw this shit back in the day. I'm like, who is this dude who can't fucking rap, who's trying too hard, who just wants fame and attention? Kanye always came off as a narcissistic dweeb to me from back then. Literally on the first album. If you listen to that first album, you will hear that shit. So this idea that he somehow was genuine, it's like, nah, that's bullshit. And I know again that appeals to the casuals out here and narcissistic dweebs who can relate to that dumb shit. I can't relate to that bullshit. And the fact is, Kweli talking about, the Ghostwriters that go all the way back to Rhyme Fest and all that stuff, of course. And now he's going to do Ghostproducers. That's the one I want to hear about, for sure. Because we know that Kanye's been having Ghostproducers. And like I said, I remember listening or watching something on YouTube, on Facebook, where there was a guy, I can't remember his name, Jamal something, who claims that he made the Papa's Papa Was a Player beat. And that Kanye took that shit. That's going way the fuck back, okay? So again, this fraud ass Kanye that y'all, support, this dude been a fucking fraud. And I could tell, you could see it. But again, people pretend. That's just what it is in this rap shit. And that's why I don't have time for these bots and these geeks. I know what it is. And that's why y'all rock with me, because you know that I can tell this shit. Yeah, man. I mean, Kweli's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. It's been almost 20 years. That's what these frauds do. They know that, look, listen, eventually they might get discovered, but they don't give a fuck. Like, after then, it's not going to matter. Like, he's already made his money. Kanye West is cool, you know what I'm saying? If you think he's a fraud going forward, whatever. Like, he already got his money. That's how these things go, right? But I do think it's interesting that it's not even 20 years and we're already looking at Kanye's whole entire discography suspect. That's what I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? That's not happening for Nas and Jigga. Nas and Jay been in this game almost, 30 years plus? Nobody's looking back on that Illmatic and be like, oh, that album was kind of suspect. That's what I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of fake frauds out here. There's a lot of, pretend criticism. Oh, this person is as great as Nas. His debut album is as dope as Illmatic. Get the fuck out of here. We would know. We're hip-hop fans. We would know. In fact, we would tell you so that you can copy us, because that's how you vultures behave. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all trying to put these goofy niggas on a pedestal. Now imagine that Kanye, who is one of the biggest rappers, like I've said, of the 2000s and sort of the influence of this new era. Top 3 rapper, right? Kanye, Lil Wayne, Eminem. These are the top 3, okay, in my opinion, that have changed rap for the worse, okay? All these 3 acts, in some way, shape, or form, are massive frauds. Musical frauds. I'm not even saying that they're frauds in terms of how they live their lives and shit like that, because that shit's not really important. I'm talking about musically, these niggas is frauds, okay? And are you really surprised that the game has become watered down and pop garbage? Look at who we've gotten since these guys. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? That's when you talk about that influence shit. What all they did was just water this rap shit down to the point where it became straight up pop music. You know what I'm saying? So when you guys are listening to Excess and Tentacion and all these guys clout chasing and doing whatever the fuck they can to get a record deal, and basically doing Vanessa Carlton mixed with trap, that's Kanye shit. Because they relate to Kanye. They relate to the dweeb, right? That dweeb that wants the girls, the chains, the cars, but doesn't actually really like rap music as it is. That's goofy to me, man. Let me look at my notes, man. I mean, I kind of blame Kweli in a way because, Kweli helped put Kanye on. And again, it's kind of interesting how Kweli's now sort of, obviously, I'm going to expose Kanye. Again, like I said, too late. And Kweli himself was basically trying to ride that Kanye train. I mean, now I understand. You know what? Kanye gave you a beat. He didn't charge you for it. It got you a lot of money. Of course, Get By is nowhere near one of Talib Kweli's best songs. I never listened to Get By. I never really liked that song. I noticed that the people that like that song were casuals and they don't listen to rap anymore. And I'm not saying that the song is horrible. It's not a horrible song. But again, it's just not... It's not even a top 10 Talib Kweli song to me. It never has been. So, Kweli kind of followed that hype train. He followed the cash. He followed the association. And now it's biting him in the ass. I mean... So, this is, again, how this stuff happens. And you guys sometimes go, oh, well, if this guy's a real artist, he wouldn't co-sign this person you think is a fraud. Actually, he would, if he's desperate. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's why co-signs, I don't look at them. Because it's about business. It's about who's making the money, who seems to have the ear and the eyes of the white casual. And let me see if I can ride on that, you know what I'm saying, and get some cash, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the music business. And you know what? it is what it is. But again, we're not going to sit here and pretend like you are some artist with amazing integrity, musical integrity, and that your shit is classic. That's what we're not about to do, okay? Pick one. Either you want the musical integrity or you want the fucking cash, okay? Most times you can't have both, especially not out the fucking gate. Nas now can have the cash because Nas is obviously a brilliant artist and he has the musical integrity, okay? You think if Nas, obviously it was written aside and all that bullshit, but if Nas was really about the motherfucking cash on his first album, his very first debut album, he probably would have tried to get a fucking, some R&B duet, album or whatever, R&B feature or with whatever was popping at that time, MC Hammer feature. But no, he chose to make some real shit. You know what I'm saying? You can tell who the real artists are. It just speaks out a certain way, man. So knock it off. I was gonna say one other thing. The thing about Kanye and him saying that he's a big Mobb Deep Nas fan and he tried to be a backpack nigga essentially to but deep down he's a street nigga. I don't believe you. I'm sorry. But I will say this though, and I've always said this, if you look up my video with the positive artsy-fartsy rapper, and Kanye is 100% that person. And again, this is why I said I don't fuck with these rappers, because I know that they're frauds. And I can smell the fraud a fucking mile away. Like I said, this is a dude who is infatuated with street shit. He's infatuated with that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? This is why Kanye was one of the guys that put Chief Keef on, if you fucking remember. And I remember telling you guys this. All that Chirac bullshit, guess who, ran real quick for that fucking attention? Kanye motherfucking West. The so-called positive rapper who doesn't talk about guns and wants to keep black people enlightened and safe and all that goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? Kanye will follow the fucking money. He doesn't give a damn about positivity. He's not trying to tell you nothing intelligent. Kanye just wants to be Kanye. Kanye means delusions of grandeur. It means, sloppy slapdash shit put together and, boosted with some kind of paparazzi clout thing going on. And, you talk about me. That's what Kanye wants. He's an attention whore. Through and through. And that's why the game, in a lot of ways, has turned into attention whoring. All these rappers attention whore in some way, shape, or fashion, right? And like I've said, this is a Kanye thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, others, obviously do it in their own way. But what I'm trying to say is that all this stuff about Kanye being this musical genius, and it's like, knock it the fuck off, man. I'm going in. But I'm telling you, man, it's just fascinating. A lot of these guys that y'all believe in and you pretend that, oh, they're so real and stuff like that. It's not about who they tell you they are. Listen to the music. What does the music tell you about who they are? Okay? And that the way it sounds, the way it's constructed, that's who it tells you. You know what I'm saying? For example, Prodigy, right? Prodigy wasn't from Queensbridge or something like that. I think he was from Long Island or whatever. So he was claiming Queensbridge, and obviously that was a problem for some people. You could say that Prodigy was fake on doing that shit. Sure. But who gives a fuck, right? To me, that's not really musical, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy, at the end of the day, when it came down to making the type of music he wanted to make, and the rap style and the energy and the effort that they put into making them classic records, that was genuine. There was a sincerity to that. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When Kanye West is out here saying that he basically made backpacker style shit because he was like, that's kind of my way in, but really I like that gangster shit, but I'm gonna use Lil Brother and Kweli and Common to get my shit up and make this like pseudo backpacky stuff, but doesn't really have no drums. But I like Mobb Deep and Wu-Tang who have hard ass drums and make hard ass music, but I'm not gonna do that. It's all very calculated. That's fake. That's not music. The music integrity is not there. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I don't care for. I don't listen to people that tell me in interviews they do this, but in their music they do something else. Right? Y'all niggas listen to that kind of shit. And of course not y'all, my base, people that actually fuck with me. I'm talking about the casuals out here. They relate to that shit. I don't. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga tells me he's really, when A$AP Rocky says he listens to Wu-Tang, he's a big Rakim fan, I can tell. Because the way the music is constructed shows that shit. You know what I'm saying? At least his earlier shit. When A$AP Yams is like, yo, I'm a Mobb Deep. I named my shit A$AP Mob after Mobb Deep. I can fucking tell. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there in the music and the way it's constructed. It reminds me, the feeling. You can't get around the feeling of this shit. And that's what I'm telling you, man. You can tell me all day that you like Rakim and all that shit, but if your music don't have the same feeling, that aggression, doesn't have that aggression and intellect and sort of eclectic, you know, vibe and finesse to it that their music had, then I know that you're not really A, that talented, or B, you actually don't even really like that shit. You're trying to do something else. You just want to name Rakim and them for clout. And that is the story of Kanye West's motherfucking career. When that dude was on the track with Nas, Rakim, and KRS-One, that's some fucking connection shit. By the way, what I think is interesting is, speaking of that connection, because from what I understand, Rick Rubin was the one that kind of put that together. Rick Rubin probably put, Kanye up on that track, because I remember when that shit came out and I was like, why the fuck is Kanye on this song? He can't fucking rap. He's next to three guys who are some of the greatest rappers ever. Who put in this favor? And it probably was Rick Rubin. But what I think is fascinating is that Rick Rubin, if I'm saying this correctly, in the snippet of the interview, Kanye was saying that he got on that Trump shit through Rick Rubin. Hey, I'm telling you, man, this rap shit is it's some real weird shit at this stage, man. It really is, man. Because you're looking on the outside and you're saying, man, look at these black rappers and they're expressing what you think is how they feel and shit. But this shit is so controlled by white people at this stage, man. Who knows what the fuck is really going on? So, I'm going to leave it at that, man. I've said a lot, but at the end of the day, a fraud is going fraud. I was right. It took almost 20 years for, I think, for people to really see what I was saying on some level. But again, if you check, man, check the forums if you want to go all the way back. I've been saying this shit about Kanye. And this is when I didn't even really know, but I just felt it, because you can feel it, man. Your intuition. I was just like, there's something fake about this dude. There's something really narcissistic and super fake about this guy that I can't quite put my finger on. You know what I'm saying? He's trying too hard. I don't even think he really gives a fuck about this music like this. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, here it is. All right, y'all. Be good.